often overshadowed by portly plumbers, a boy in a skirt, and cute discolored animals that can only say their own name, one of Nintendo's most overlooked series is perhaps one of its greatest. Metroid for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Released in the United States in August of 1987, Metroid was the brainchild of Gunpei Yokoi. Having already captured the fascination of gamers abroad with the groundbreaking and hugely successful platformer Super Mario Bros. And the enchanting fantasy-based game Legend of Zelda, Nintendo set its sight on a more science fiction-oriented title. Combining the platforming of Mario and the adventure and exploration of Zelda, Metroid presented players with more than just a level, or even a kingdom, but instead opened up an entire planet to explore. Much darker and grittier in tone, the sci-fi adventure follows the heroic mission of bounty hunter Samus Aran, tasked by the Galactic Federation to infiltrate the space pirate homeworld of Zebes to retrieve and destroy the biological weapons known as Metroid. Samus must venture into the labyrinthian maze of corridors and caverns, discovering secret stashes of energy packs, powerful weapons, and incredible items that allow the bounty hunter further access to the vast space pirate base. Not the least of these items is the iconic Morph Ball. Ironically, this famed power-up was the result of programmers' inability at the time to animate Samus crawling, so instead programmers made the bounty hunter curl up into a ball, which has become a series staple. Discovered at the outset of the protagonist's adventure, this strange artifact allows Samus to transform into a spherical shape, permitting access to otherwise unreachable areas, a game mechanic that has been hailed to this day as altogether brilliant in design and execution. Like Legend of Zelda, players are simply set loose in a strange foreign environment, brimming with a foreboding air and bizarre alien life forms. Players were left to their own means to explore wherever, whenever. This was the brilliance that was Metroid. Oftentimes you could venture into an area, but not necessarily be allowed to progress, either because your equipment wasn't up to par, or that the hostile forces were too overwhelming. But then again, there were other times where if you were gutsy enough, you could forge ahead into difficult terrain in the hopes of garnering some new piece of equipment or power-up that would improve your situation. In this way, progress was not measured by levels, but instead by the growth of Samus. An extra energy tank could mean all the difference between life and death, as much as a new suit would mean the ability to venture into new terrain. All of this would encourage players to search every nook and cranny and retrace their steps multiple times in the hopes of finding new clues to secret areas or power-ups. This would inspire a completely new genre in the gaming world that is still prevalent today, known as Metroidvania, or a combination of Metroid and Castlevania. A player is given the keys to the world, but how they conquer it is completely up to them. Metroid was also one of the very first video games ever to utilize a password system to retain progress. Such a long adventure required a means of playing multiple sessions, and Nintendo was utilizing its revolutionary battery save system for Zelda. With 65 possible characters and an entry string of 24, means that there are over 32 decillion, 353 duodecillion, 447 undecillion, 101 decillion, 972 nonillion, 729 octillion, 728 septillion, 913 sextillion, 30 quintillion, 683 quadrillion, 994 trillion, 293 billion, 212,890,625 combinations, which led players to spend hours simply entering random codes to see the outcome. One of the most well-known passwords being Justin Bailey. New passwords are still being discovered to this very day as online users utilize password generators to find new and interesting combinations. What is perhaps the greatest and most memorable of Metroid is not its addicting gameplay, haunting music, or even its vast world. After having completed the mission by defeating the evil space pirate leader Mother Brain and performing a timed, death-defying escape, players' hearts were still pumping from the sheer energy of the moment. Not even having yet digested the incredible adventure coming to a close, a final screen comes into focus, which would reveal the identity of the bounty hunter gamers had embodied all this time. As Samus withdrew the helmet, all would learn that the protagonist was in fact a woman. Not just any woman, a bounty hunter that had just single-handedly defeated the space pirate threat, destroyed their base, and exited stage right without so much as a single word of dialogue. Sure, nowadays there's Lara Croft, Jill Valentine, Sheik, and many other strong female characters in video games. But at that point in time in gaming history, the only well-known female characters were Princess Peach, who suffered from Stockholm Syndrome, and the binge-eating Miss Pac-Man. It was a simple yet mind-blowing fact that completely changed the dynamic of all the long hours scouring the depths of the space pirate base. It made being a strong female character cool, and no one would look at Samus the same way again once they knew the truth. However, the end credits reveal wasn't the only reason gamers were surprised. After all, even the instructional manual had referred to Samus as a he. This wasn't a completely unintentional move on the part of Nintendo, as another strong female character motivated the gender choice. Greatly inspired by the feature film Alien by Ridley Scott, the science fiction movie's influence is apparent when you begin to look beneath the surface. From the claustrophobic corridors to the overwhelming feeling of solitude, the odd but thought-provoking design, and the strong female character trying to destroy the parasitic alien creatures. Metroid even featured a mini-boss named after Alien's director, Ridley, who would go on to be Samus's arch-nemesis. Said Yoshio Sakamoto, "I think the film Alien had a huge influence on the production of the first Metroid game. All the team members were affected by H.R. Geiger's design work, and I think they were aware that such designs would be a good match for the Metroid world we had already put in place." Hey everyone, that's it for this episode. I'm RetroMackiees, and I hope you enjoyed what you saw. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps in creating more content. Feel free to leave a comment below about your thoughts on this video or games you would like to see in future episodes. Also be sure to check out these other videos if you like Kirby or Phoenix Wright. Until next time, God bless, take care, and this has been a Bite of Gaming. 32 Dresidillion, 353 Duodecillion, 447 Unidecillion, 101 Decillion, 972 Nonillion, 729 Octillion, 728 Septillion, 913 Sextillion, 30 Quintillion, 608... Goodness. 32 Dresidillion, 353... 32 Dresidillion, nope. 32 Dresillion, 353 Duodecillion, 447 Undecillion, 101 Decillion, 972 Nonillion, 729 Octillion, 728 Septillion, 913 Sextillion, 30 Quintillion, 683 Quadrillion, 994 Quadrillion, nope. Ah, goodness. 32 Dresillion, 353... 32 Dresillion, 353 Duodecillion, 447 Undecillion, 101 Decillion, 972 Nonillion... Goodness, I'm just going to have to paste this all together. 32 Dresillion, 353 Duodecillion, 447 Undecillion, 101 Decillion, 972 Nonillion, 729 Octillion, 728 Septillion, 913 Sextillion, 30 Quintillion, 683 Quadrillion, 994 Trillion, 293 Billion, 212,890,625. Booyah.